Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Always, and welcome back to Sky Factory 2.5. In the last episode, we went to the end and took on our very first Chaos Dragon, which was actually pretty easy. Wasn't too bad at all, and basically, we are to the point in this mod pack where we only have a couple things left to do. Need to kill 4 Chaos Dragons. We might do one of those today, but probably not. I've got the Charm of Dislocation set for one of the Chaos Dragons. I went over there, but I haven't got the other 2 yet. So we'll worry about that another episode, because there's something that's a little bit more difficult. And that is producing 1 billion RF per tick. This is insane. And this is actually something that I'm not prepared to do at any point in the near future. So this big reactor, this guy, produces to like 1.2 million or something like that. It produces a little over 1 million RF per tick. That's it. These solar panels are not good enough. I'm currently making 2 more of those solar panels because I believe that's what it requires to get the tier 6. And yeah, these guys aren't even good enough. They only generate 4,000 RF per tick. But I want to see something with that, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So really the only way is the Nether Star generators. That's the only way I can figure, and that is the 64. However, it's not that easy. Of course it's not that easy. It's going to be a lot like this. Because we're going to need close to 400 Nether Star generators times 64, if my math is correct. I want to try to get to the point where I can make one 64, but even that is really expensive. It requires a ton of Nether Stars, and that requires a ton of Wither Skeleton heads. Now we have our farm over there doing its thing, and that's working just fine, but it's just not enough. So we need to automate these skulls a little bit better, and that's what we're going to work on today. Now, a little bit of an aside, I have been working very diligently trying to get all the nether bricks out of my applied logistics system, clean up some of this. It actually looks a lot better than it was. And just try to get all of the nether bricks into a barrel, and then once that is done exporting, once the barrel is full, I'll just put a storage bus on there, and that'll be fine. So currently we're at 35,000, which is really nice. It's a lot easier than it was before. But yeah, just to make one of these guys, it requires one, we need the transfer node energies. We're gonna need a lot of cobblestone, which I can get. Currently the system doesn't have much cobblestone because we're exporting it all into this guy to try to get one octuple compressed. We are getting close though. We need 81 sextuple, I do believe, because we need 9 times 9. Yeah, so 81 sextuple. We're at 59. We'll go take a look at the... Let's actually go take a look at the... Deep Dark real quick. I just want to see how that guy is doing. So a lot of blocks scanned, but that is let's see, 1.5 million blocks scanned, but 1,000 times 1,000 is what, a lot more. Plus we're at like 80, so it's times 80ish. But where is it scanning at? Negative 400, negative 700. So this way, and no, it's, what way is it? I guess it's this general direction. No, okay, so this is negative X, and that's negative y, Z, so this direction. So let's see if we can't find it, just to see about how much it's done. We're going to take damage. It's going to be really annoying because I didn't bring any torches. Alright, let's get out of here. And what we can do is we can just put on our better armor, our faster armor, and go do that again. So let's just pop down here, eat some pork chops. So it's negative, it's this way. Yeah, so negative 400, 700. So it's over in this general direction. And yeah, there you go. You can see all of the dirt that it's done so far. So it's actually done quite a bit, but it's still got a ways to go. So yeah, it's done a bit, but it'll get there. It'll get there. So that's just literally going to take time. That's going to give us a lot of cobblestone, though. So that's a good thing. Now, do I have the other 2 solar panels yet? No, it's still crafting. It's still crafting the glass. And that's something, if this works how I think it is, if we can actually use these solar panels, to make one of these guys requires about 10,000 glass. And that's insane, but we have the solutions. And the solution is to get material, where is it? Glass. It is really cheap to make a glass dimension, and all we have to do then is go in there and use a silk touch pick and get all the glass we could ever want. Now I am currently making a bunch of yellorium because why not? And I would like to try at some point to fill up this reactor with as much radioactive stuff as I can, but that's something I'm going to work on between episodes. So let's get on with the main thing. So the main thing is wither skeletons. So we have a really good way to spawn wither skeletons. What we don't have is a good way to kill them and get their drops. So can I put that there? And we put that there. Try to put that more in the center. Cool. So we don't have a really good way to get the skulls. And the best way that I can think of to do that is with a cleaver. Now we do have a cleaver. I think it's in here. I know I put it somewhere. Is it? Oh, it's in here, isn't it? Yeah, it's right there. So manual and cleaver, it has a 30% chance of beheading. That's not good. That's actually really bad. So let's make a better cleaver to begin with. And the way we're going to do that is with magical wood. Now, in order to get magical wood, we need books. And we need bookcases. And let's see, Unbreaking 1, Thorns 1, I have a bunch of Power 2 books. So let's use these. And then I believe we need some gold. And that's only going to give us that. Alright, well, let's see if we have any more books that are a little bit higher level. Silk Touch, Educational 3, don't have any use for that. Unbreaking X. Haste, Fire Protection Last Stand, Reaper 3, Feather Falling 3, Projectile Protection 4. Alright, that's what we'll use. Because it's a high level enchant and we don't really have any use for it. That's going to give us 8 magical wood. Now we get some more bookcases, and that's not going to be a problem at all. And let's go ahead and craft it in here so I can have that nice setup like we have in the other side, without any concern. And you know what, let's go ahead and encode it, because why not? And let's go ahead and do 2 more. And we're out of gold. We're not really, but let's just go ahead and do that. And there's more magical wood. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a cleaver out of magical wood. And the reason being is, well, it's going to give us a lot of things. So there's that. I believe we need a large plate. What all do we need? And 2 tough rods. Because I want to make sure, before we actually make it though, we're going to make one verification. So parts can be replaced. That is the important thing. So let's go ahead and make the cleaver. So that goes there, and then those. So this is a magical wood cleaver. It gives us 9 modifiers. So let's go ahead and make it. It's terrible otherwise, but it has a bunch of modifiers. And what we can do is, beheading is, I believe, obsidian. Oops, wrong search bar. Obsidian and what is it? It is ender pearls, I do believe. So let's just grab those. Let's see. Do we have tough rods? No. Do we have cleaver blades? How about large plates? We have a bunch of obsidian large plates. I think let's go ahead and use one of these and just verify that, hey, we can. That's going to make it reinforced. Is that going to change the parts? It's going to change the parts and then it's going to do other things. So let's go ahead and put beheading on there until we get up to beheading 100%. Oh, there it is. It's like, where did it go? I thought I lost it. And then one more. And we have one more modifier remaining. So let's go ahead and put quartz. Just a little bit of nether quartz. And we'll adjust that later. So let's see, 72. Let's see, I have a good bit of blocks of quartz. So let's go ahead and do that and just fill it up with quartz. And there we go. So now it is modified out. It is a 100% chance to behead, but it doesn't do too much damage. So can we replace the parts? First of all, yes, we're going to replace it with a large plate made out of obsidian. Now we need to get some manulin. I believe 8 manulin will be enough. And go ahead and put that in there. Make sure it doesn't do anything there. And we just need the large blade. And we'll put that there. And then anything else we want for tough rods. Durability is something to worry about, but at the same time, not really. Because it's not really going to be a concern. But a cobalt tough rod would not be a bad idea. And then maybe, I don't even know. I don't even know what would be good. Shiny's also pretty good. But I think maybe not making any other modifications should be fine. We can make a shiny. That would give us, or cobalt. Let's do cobalt. So cobalt will need like a little bit of this smelted up. And we just turn that on. Fills it up. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's get an ingot of ardite. Just a single ingot and manulin ingot. Right? No, 2. We'll see. We'll see how this works, because we'll make the other one out of manulin. But then we just put that in there. Tough rod requires 3, so once this cooks up, it should give us 4. And then the ardite ingot will give us the other piece that we need. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a really good cleaver. Now, I want to automate this. And there's a couple of different ways to automate it. And I think what we're going to do is the Well, I want to see something real quick because I can't remember which version of the mods this has. This doesn't have thermal expansion, does it? Autonomous. Yeah, it does. Of course it does. But I don't know if the autonomous activator requires anything special or not. So we'll find out here in a moment. Also, excuse me, I do have a little bit of a cold. Nothing major, just kind of stuffy nose. So let's go ahead and melt these guys up. Let's leave that on, and then once it's done, it'll be good. So, do we have an autonomous activator? We can make one. Shouldn't be too difficult. We just need 210 gears, a piston, which will tell it to craft, and redstone reception coil. And it's still working on this. It's still making glass. Alright, so autonomous activator. There we go. Now I want to see... It requires power. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So I don't really want to use something that requires power. We have one in here, don't we? No? Okay. Like, using power isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not something I want to do. So what are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to use some magic. So let's make our cleaver nice and strong. So give it a better sword blade. That's going to give us a lot more durability, a lot more attack. And then a lot more durability. And a lot more durability. Perfect. So this is a really good cleaver. And what we need now is called... what is it actually called? Let's make sure we have it. So we're going to get some Thaumcraft things. So I need to get my Thaumonomicon. And we need to see if we can get this thing. Because I don't remember what mod, if it is from basic Thaumcraft or if it's from something else. So Artifice, Item Grate, is it in here? I don't see it. That's not a good sign. Automagi? It might be Automagi. V-Reader. It's called a Dyna. It's a tablet. Let's see. I unfortunately don't see it. So we might have to use something else. We might have to go with the autonomous activator. But let's just kind of look for it just a little bit more. Golems. X-Astris, it's not in that. It is not an Eldritch thing. Oh, cool. We can get Revelations in the Outer Lands. That's kind of cool. I wonder if that unlocked anything. Who knows? I don't think it's in here either. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, well. So what I was going to use, I believe it's called a Dynatism tablet or something like that. It is basically a automated magical item that just will use whatever you give it, either left click or right click. But I guess we're going to have to use an autonomous activator. Not a big deal. Let's get some conduits. And I think we're using these over here. Actually, it doesn't matter. So all we need to do is figure out where we're going to put this. And what we're going to do is just place it basically right here. So let's break that. Great. And yeah, I need to deal with that. Okay, so this should be done, by the way. Nether brick. It is. So I have a storage bus I already made. By the way, I just upgraded this guy as far as I could. This is the max structural upgrade. So just FYI. And I put a whole bunch of upgrades in there. So let's just break this for... is it going to break anything? Probably. Let's get our crescent hammer. My inventory is a complete and utter mess because of the Chaos Dragons last episode. and I really haven't done anything since with my stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But storage bus, okay, that should be fine. Nothing should be disappearing from it, but we should be able to see, if I look up nether bricks, yeah, there's all of our nether bricks. Now if I take some out and then put them back, what's the system say we have? 922. It should still be 922 in here, and it is. So that tells me that it's going here first. That's what I want. So with that taken care of, I don't have to, my overall system should be a little bit better. Now we are getting a ton of things. I was looking at just kind of what all we have, and we have a lot of limestone and marble. We have a lot of coal, bones, a good bit of iron, and we get a lot of it pretty regularly. So it's just one of those things of, we have a lot of things, we're going to kind of have a lot of things as we go on, and there's not much we can do about that. So how are we doing on power? Still got 11 billion. That is good enough for now. So we need to fix this, which means we're gonna need some more cables, and let's just grab some glass cables, put this stuff away. And what we're gonna do is, I guess let's just do this. So we'll just break those. Why am I not able to fly? There we go. That was weird. So where was I? Over here. Let's go ahead and break this stuff. I would have been very mad if it didn't work. In fact, you know what? Because of all the, actually it all has soulbound, except for like a couple of things, like the thing I just made. All right, so that will work. We just put energy conduit here. And just take this back down to get power. And this one can be broken. Cool. So there's power. We'll worry about items in a little bit. Whoop. And yeah, so we just put the autonomous activator here. We need to rotate him around so that he is facing that way. And you know, we're gonna need to do some stuff in here anyway, so it's gonna get power. We're gonna want to left click, first slot only, not sneaking, all that, and ignore configuration, output out the bottom. Or no, it's not going to output. So what we can do is just something like this, and it will do damage. So the only other thing we need to do now is set up some conveyor belts like in there, and everything should work just fine. And then the last thing we'll need to do is actually move things. So like move the items and whatnot. So all we need to do is something like this, and just move them to the center. No, it can't go there. But yeah, you get the idea. So that should be good enough. It'll move all the mobs there, and they'll get hit. Now that is just left clicking, so it's punching. But relatively soon it will have a sword in it, and everything will be good. So the only other question I actually have with this is where the items go. And that's the real question. So we just need some rubber. Let's go ahead and just grab 3 stacks of it, and I'll put it in here. Because things are doing things down here with the solar panels. So let's see, how are the solar panels going? Do I have a bunch of sand? No, but I do have cobblestone. Let's take a bunch of this, and that's not going to work. So it's not cobblestone we want. It is actually, so we can put that away. It is gravel. We have a little bit of gravel. So we put gravel in there, and that should work just fine. Produce sand. And that'll give us a little bit of glass that we can throw into the system and hopefully make things a little bit nicer. So it's not really going to be enough to do anything, so yeah, let's just stop. It was silly. So let's just go ahead and throw all that in there. What we might do is go ahead and make that dimension and deal with that. Get glass that way and speed this thing up. So let's go ahead and make all the conveyor belts, make a stack of those. Don't need those anymore. And we should be good to finish up most of this. So just gotta place all of these conveyor belts, and you gotta make sure you're facing the correct way, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, so what this will do is just kind of push all of the wither skeletons that are coming from our amazing spawner in front of this guy. And now what we can do, apart from closing up the wall, is we can give this the sword. Let's turn this on for a second and just make sure that it works. And it looks like it's actually pushing them into the wall and out of the wall. Alright, well, that means we gotta fix it slightly. But there's 17 skulls. So what's happening is I think this row needs to push them back towards the middle. And I think that will be enough to fix the problem we just had. Because what's happening is they're pushing each other into... Basically, they're pushing each other into the wall and then suffocating and all that kind of fun stuff. But that told me what I needed to know about the items. And so what we need is a vacuum hopper. And then what we can do is just get item conduits. And let's go ahead and craft like 30 more of those. Take just a second, hopefully. No, it won't. It needs to use the... So, conduits. Let's go ahead and cancel that. And then we should be able to see the conduit, or I guess it's the binder composite. We'll grab this stuff and we'll just go ahead and cook it up manually. It'll take just a second, get us a good bit of it, and then we'll make some more item conduits. And we just need to get those to really anything that will give us what we want. So as long as it doesn't want to make any conduits, we can make like 30. Yeah, there we go. It's easy enough. They'll be quick. And So all we have to do is, honestly, we're going to put it right here. With the output on the bottom. So let's get that fixed again. I think it's that one. Yeah. And then we should be able to connect an item conduit straight down. And extract always active. And we just bring it over here. And right there goes, where's that going? Over that way. So we just connect it there and it should be fine. So let's just kind of verify that it all works. I might put a conduit facade there, but let's just get a single group. We gotta stand back farther. And yeah, it's all going in there. And it should be working. Perfect. So with that taken care of, that means automatic weather skulls. As many as we need. And that is actually really nice. So let's go ahead and make this other dimension. We need another empty dimension tab. Let's craft that up. And take just a second. And we'll make a nice glass dimension. We do have Silk Touch, but I want to use this guy. And yeah, that should be fine. We can put this away. We'll need this guy. And all we need to do is grab, let's see, we're going to need effect none. We're going to want, we could do, that would be really cool. We could do saturation. And that would prevent us from needing to eat. Saturation 2, but that's a lot of power. Even saturation 1 is a lot of power. And I want this to be a relatively cheap dimension just because it's going to be one that we just go in, grab as much glass as we want, and then run out. And then we just need controller type thing, so we need to do feature, and I think tendrils is going to be the best, like it usually is, for ores and that kind of stuff. And I think that's all we need. So let's go ahead. Glass, tendrils, material tendrils, effect none, store. I don't think we already have one that's glass. So, oh, nope, we already did. This one's really expensive. I kind of want to know why. So let's go into it and find out. So home base to glass as soon as it's powered, created. Is this ID 33? So these guys dial once. And we're pretty much ready. So let's go in here and see what's going on. Because something is up with this world. I just don't know what. So looks really cool. But here's the kicker. We can just... I was holding the wrong button. Alright, there we go. There is a ton of glass. We eat some pork chops. And then ton of glass. And eat more pork chops. So I have no idea why this world is so expensive. It just is. There we go. Even more glass. Let's go ahead and put all of it away. And that's enough for now. So I have 2 dimensions now that are full of glass. If I need more glass, I can easily go get it. It's not going to be an issue whatsoever. So we'll just put that there. Put both of these guys there. And that gave us a ton of glass, so it looks like... Alright, I'm going to probably regret this. Let's cancel that. And then do solar panel ×2. And that should almost immediately craft. So that's going to take a lot less time. Because it doesn't need to make any more glass. So what we can do now is go over here. We're going to grab these guys for the moment. We're going to put them in here. And then once this is done, which it's getting close, we're going to go ahead and tell the system to make the tier 6. Now the reason we're going to do this is because there are upgrades available. So one of the upgrades is efficiency, which increases the amount of RF generated by 5%, decreasing returns to scale. So maximum 8 of these guys. Now they require a whole bunch of photovoltaic cells and these blank upgrades. So we're gonna have to make that. Let's go ahead and make the blank upgrades. Make one of those, and then we're gonna make the efficiency upgrade. Now there's also a low light, machine transversal, transfer rate upgrade, and capacity upgrade. Most of those I don't care about. The only thing that might be is the transfer rate. So we might have to make those as well, which those are not bad to make at all. But let's see how this does. So let's go ahead and craft this guy. It'll take a moment, but it won't be too bad. And we need photovoltaic cells 1 and 2. And let's see, we also are going to need some more blank patterns. Not 100, let's just get 20 of them. And then photovoltaic cells version 2. That'll take just a second. And there is the efficiency upgrade. And then let's go ahead and make the capacity, not the capacity, the transfer rate upgrades. So do we have the redstone? Yeah, it does know how to make those. So it knows how to make all that stuff. Now let's find a slot where we can put this stuff. Let's see, what don't we need to know how to make anymore? Honestly, for right now, Stirling generators. We don't need to know how to make that anymore. So let's go ahead and clear that recipe. And do we have the solar panel tier 6? We do. So this guy, if we put it down, generates 4,000 RF per tick. Now, for one, that's going to be nice for this guy. But let's go ahead and get the upgrades. This, we can get 8 of these. So let's go ahead and make 10. We need more earth essence. I have been running out of cobblestone a lot. So let's just go down here and grab... let's just grab a bunch of cobblestone here. 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's just grab a bunch. And what we'll do is we'll just throw it all in here. But not like we normally would. We're going to do this. And can I just do one of these? Like, I guess we'll have to do cobblestone. So basically, I want to put in the compressed cobblestone because it's going to be nicer for getting more stuff. So why isn't it putting a stack in? It's what I want it to do. So let's just take all of that out and let's just do it in a normal crafting bench because it's going to be easier. And that's going to give us a good bit of cobblestone into our system. And then now we should be able to make the upgrades. So 10 of those. It's still missing them. Why? Oh, because we need the clay. I have a lot of clay like this, so I guess let's go ahead and... because I don't think we can just grind it up or anything. Mana infusion. Sag mill works, but it's not consistent enough. Don't I have a wand? Let's grab our wand and do this the right way. And there we go. So now we can just vein miner it and get a ton of normal clay. Now we should be able to make the upgrades. I mistake what the upgrades were needing. And I don't know why it's not doing it. Start. Let's see if we can make the upgrades. So we're gonna need like 20 of those. There we go. We got it off. So now that that's done, it should make this pretty easily, and it should make these pretty easily. All right. So there is the 8 transfer upgrades. And that guy is going to take just a little bit of time just making all of the photovoltaic cells, just because that's a little bit slow. We can speed these machines up, because these guys are resonant. Do they have... oh no, they're already as fast as they can be. Never mind, we can't speed them up. So pretty much what we want to see, and... this is what I want to see. So if I put upgrades in here, doesn't actually do any different because it's not generating any more than what it currently is. So there's 5, 6. So each one is not that good, and that's what I wanted to see. So it's a little over 5,000, but let's put that on like a power monitor, and let's get a Ender energy conduit. So that'll take a second, but I don't think this transfers straight from a conduit. So yeah, that's not going to be good enough. We just need one Ender energy. I could steal these. Do I have any extras? I do. So let's just go ahead and put this like so. We'll put this guy on top. And what are you saying? It's getting average input 80 RF per tick. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Actually it does, because it's not actually going anywhere except for here. So let's get a energy cell, have a whole bunch of empty ones, and input. So it's gaining power. So this is doing 2048. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. I think because it was already it already had a charge. So now it's falling back down to 5427. So solar panels aren't worth it. That is what I've just learned. They are not worth it at all. So what that means is, I mean, other than we're going to keep that guy and use him over here, because, I mean, it is still a lot of power for our system. But for the billion RF per tick, that's not the way to go. So what that means is I am going to be spending a lot of time in the near future with this guy on, first of all. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a ton of Wither Skulls. And I mean an actual ton. So that we can summon a ton of Withers. And so that I can get close to 400 of these Nether Star generators. And that is going to be my life for a while. So don't know if you're going to see this series anytime soon. Now the plan is to go on to Sky Factory 3 after beating this one. We might actually start peeking at that one early. Just because this is literally going to take me a lot of time of off-camera work. So it's just one of those things of... It's just kind of what it is. So, compressed skeleton. That's going to be nice. And they are going to escape, I think, more if they see me than anything else. So I got another soul. Yeah, they're going to try to get through there with, if they see me. So, what I might go ahead and do is put a block there, just to make sure they don't. But hopefully it works well. I mean, it seems to. There are some guys still escaping, though. One of them's infested. Alright, so let's turn that off right now. And... yeah, we're getting skulls consistently, and that's what's important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of work off camera, making dimensions as needed, and basically everything that needs to be done, just so that we can get the Nether Star generators. And next episode we are going to hopefully finish up most of this map. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!